evening, everyone. How are you? Great. Okay. I'm still thinking about the books being, a writer and a reader. That is wonderful, Bill. And Bill's dad. That's wonderful. I am here today to preserve our Canadian pennies. Woo! Coins really are noisy, heavy, especially for gentlemen, a lot of hassle in our ladies' purses. Really, it is a lot of hassle. But they're done away with it now. On May 4th, 2012, as you may know, the Canadian Mint in Winnipeg decided that was the final day for producing the pennies. There will be no more pennies ever, ever, ever in Canada. I didn't know about it myself until we were at a fundraising meeting at 6 St. Joseph House, which is a downtown charity, and we were wondering how to raise funds, and everybody's talking about, let's, ask money from you, and you, and you, and you, and I'm thinking, why not make something that we could actually do, work with, resell, make money, and then give it back to the foundation. Somehow, I don't know how, I wish I could remember the moment, but I thought of this penny. Let's preserve our penny. And that's when I started to find out all sorts of things about our pennies. So remember all the penny phrases? Anybody?
Penny for your thoughts.
Thank you.
Penny saved, penny earned.
That's right. That's right.
A penny served is a penny earned.
Thank you very much.
Take that penny out of my nose.
There you go. So, our Canadian or English language is rich with the penny word, but now we're going to lose it, right? For example, Pennies from Heaven, the song, right? You make a wish, you throw a penny. Or lucky pennies that we find, or keychains that say lucky pennies from Chinatown, right? But we're not going to have that anymore. We're just not going to have that. At the thought of a penny lost. It's something like grandparents or old relatives that die, and then it's only afterwards that we kind of appreciate them, and we wonder, wow, what did we play with them? Did they help us count with the penny? For the gentleman here in the room, did Grandpa go with us to the railroad tracks and we flattened a penny or two? Did we play with the cats and made them into toys? So this is what we're losing right now. We're going to be losing a part of our Canadian history regarding the pennies. On Friday afternoons, I've started a class called the Penny Art Project, the Penny Art Workshop and Sale. That's the Penny Art Workshop and Sale from 2:15 to 5 o'clock at 6 St. Joseph House. And you're welcome to come and attend and make pennies of an art form. Perhaps you want to write about the pennies. Perhaps you want to make objects. One of the stuff that immediately came to my mind, being a lady of course, is making jewelry. So here are some of the things that we've already done. Lighter for the guys, belt buckles for the men. We're thinking of, the lowly, just bamboo, little sticky here, a clothesline, clothespin, but whatever else you can do with that. Any kind of, I put a display over there, any kind of pictures perhaps. You can have frames, you can have sunglasses, you can have, one of the stuff that we're working on is art forms, where the artists can come in, draw an art of any kind, stick a penny on it, excuse me, art penny, art project. Well, thank you, Ronnie, that's really sweet of you. For children, I thought, little itsy-bitsy little things, carrying the art pennies. So there's so many things that we can adjust a penny to. I think we're calling them repurposing them now. We're calling them redesigning them. You can work with copper, make things from pennies. You can also work with copper wire and twist it around so that we keep the integrity of the penny, which we don't really want to damage. I would like to make sure that we don't poke a hole through it. We won't do anything else. I think it's really important that we preserve our pennies. They're going fast. We may not need them, but I think if we all just had one to save, one to have, one to display, one to remember with, I think we'd be preserving a very special part of Canadian history. So I would really ask if you could to come down and participate in any way to save the penny. It would be wonderful if we got funding and you, the Awesome Foundation, could be responsible in the whole of Canada, say back to tourism. Think of tourism and the penny. Think of all sorts of charities that could learn from the art faction of this penny and how to make it, what to do with it. Think of people taking it back to Europe. It is a gift item. Think of receiving it, think of giving it. I would love to ask you, before anything else, to consider our contribution to your Awesome Foundation and give us some money to start a fund before you know what. We're going to be penniless.
Well done, Miss Suzette. My first question is, can we pay you in pennies?
Everyone can donate pennies. We of course have donation boxes.
So $1,000 in pennies would be all right?
No problem, because imagine if we could make 1,000 products from that. Yeah.
Questions? Judges? Trustees? Esteemed guests?
How are you going to spend the money?
Well, we
And then you're...
certainly for the space that we're using, we'd like to hire at least a part-time volunteer because the administration aspect is very time-consuming. We'd like to train people so that they can go out to schools and charities and present this program that we're putting together. You know what? I have to buy pennies recently. 1 penny cost me 3 cents.
What?
50-cent pennies of 2012 pennies, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you, you do not have one in your hand or in your pocket. You cannot buy them anymore. The coin collectors have bought them up. The banks will not be able to give us any pennies. So now we have to buy pennies. I had to buy for $15, 50 cents worth of pennies. That's where we're going as well. For other pennies, we don't have to buy because you've got them in your glass jars or grandma saved them. For those, we can do birthday gifts at the time of your birth, perhaps. Mom might want to have a necklace from that. So we will, collect all the old pennies and use them as dates, birthdays, collectibles, anything along those lines. The spending of the money is to regroup all the costs and all the stock. And most importantly is publicity. And you know what? Ink costs a lot of money. So ink will be needed to pass the information forward to the public.
Next question? Marcus, you got a question? Questions from our audience?
No, anybody wants? I've got a gift for the trustees, not a bribe, but just a gift.
We do accept bribes. That's probably right there on the website when we do.
To attract you to remember that this is Canadian history that's really going by. And we could do just a tiny bit to make sure we preserve our pennies.